In the glittering world of pop music, where rivalries are often manufactured by the media and fans alike, few narratives have been as enduring and as unfairly perpetuated as the supposed feud between Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. These two iconic divas, both vocal powerhouses who redefined what it meant to be a female artist in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, were frequently pitted against each other by an industry and public eager for drama. But as Mariah Carey herself has now clarified in a candid revelation, this so-called competition was nothing more than a fabrication, a story spun out of thin air by those on the outside looking in. During a lively appearance on a popular late-night talk show, the legendary singer addressed the long-standing misconception head-on, offering a glimpse into the reality of her relationship with the late Whitney Houston and dismantling the myth that has lingered for decades. Mariah Carey, with her 5-octave vocal range, whistle notes that could shatter glass, and a catalog of hits that have sold over 200 million records worldwide, has always been a force of nature in the music industry. From her debut self-titled album in 1990, which spawned 4 number-1 singles including the timeless Vision of Love, to her status as the Queen of Christmas with perennial favorites like All I Want for Christmas Is You, Carey's career has been a masterclass in resilience, reinvention, and raw talent. Yet, throughout the 1990s, as she climbed the charts alongside Whitney Houston, whose own resume includes 7 consecutive number-1 hits from her 1985 debut and the best-selling soundtrack of all time with The Bodyguard, the press couldn't resist drawing comparisons. Headlines screamed of battles for supremacy, of who could belt higher, who could emote deeper, and who would ultimately claim the throne of pop divadom. It was a narrative that sold magazines and boosted ratings, but as Carey now explains, it bore little resemblance to the truth. It was the people that put us to hate each other, Carey stated emphatically, her voice carrying the weight of years spent navigating the treacherous waters of fame. She elaborated that this artificial rivalry was entirely the public's doing, a kind of collective projection that turned 2 women simply excelling at their craft into adversaries in a gladiatorial arena. This was the public that kind of pitted us against each other, she added, shaking her head at the absurdity of it all. In an era before social media amplified every whisper into a roar, the tabloids and entertainment shows feasted on the idea of these 2 Black and Latina trailblazers at each other's throats. It was a classic case of the industry thriving on division, especially among women of color who dared to dominate spaces traditionally reserved for others. Carey, who rose from a mixed-race background in Long Island, New York, often facing her own share of scrutiny for her heritage and her unapologetic femininity, understood this dynamic all too well. Houston, the daughter of Cissy Houston and niece of Dionne Warwick, carried the legacy of gospel greats on her shoulders, her voice a beacon of soulful perfection that commanded respect and awe. But beneath the surface-level sensationalism, the reality was far more harmonious. Carey recounted how, once they actually crossed paths professionally, any notion of enmity evaporated like morning mist. Their collaboration on the 1998 duet When You Believe, penned for the animated blockbuster The Prince of Egypt, marked a pivotal moment, a union of 2 extraordinary talents that produced a song of such emotional depth and spiritual resonance that it won an Academy Award for Best Original Song. The track, with its soaring choruses and themes of faith and perseverance, wasn't just a hit, it was a testament to what could happen when 2 artists aligned their visions. Carey described the recording process as effortless, a meeting of minds where egos took a backseat to creativity. "We had fun together," she revealed, her eyes lighting up at the memory. There were no diva tantrums, no backstage power plays, just 2 women who respected each other's gifts and reveled in the joy of making music that moved souls. This spirit of camaraderie extended beyond the studio. Carey fondly remembered their joint performance of When You Believe on a renowned daytime talk show, where the duo delivered a rendition so powerful it left audiences in tears. The stage was alive with their chemistry. Houston's rich, velvety timbre complemented Carey's crystalline highs in a way that felt predestined. And then there was the pinnacle, their appearance together at the 71st Academy Awards in March 1999. Dressed in elegant gowns that shimmered under the spotlight, they brought the house down with a performance that encapsulated the magic of live music. Carey, ever the quick-witted observer, noted with a chuckle, "She was hilarious and just went with it." Houston, known for her poised professionalism, apparently had a playful side that emerged in these unguarded moments, a side that Carey cherished and that humanized the icon beyond the headlines. Tragically, Whitney Houston's life was cut short, a loss that reverberated through the music world and beyond. In what remains one of the most heartbreaking chapters in entertainment history, Houston passed away at the age of 48, her death ruled an accidental drowning in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. The circumstances, amid struggles with addiction that had been publicly documented and privately battled, served as a stark reminder of the toll fame can exact. For Carey, who had her own well-publicized battles with mental health and industry pressures, Houston's departure was a profound blow. It wasn't just the loss of a peer, it was the silencing of a voice that had inspired generations, including Carey's own. In the years since, Carey has spoken openly about grief, channeling it into her memoir The Meaning of Mariah Carey and her advocacy for mental health awareness. This recent reflection on their non-rivalry feels like a full-circle moment, a way of honoring Houston not through contrived drama but through authentic appreciation. Carey's comments come at a time when the music industry is grappling with its own history of pitting women against each other. From the Taylor Swift-Katy Perry saga to the ongoing discourse around Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, the pattern persists, often amplified by streaming algorithms and viral TikToks that thrive on conflict. Yet, artists like Carey are pushing back, emphasizing collaboration over competition. Her words serve as a blueprint for younger stars: focus on the art, not the animosity. In an age where duets like Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga's Rain on Me, or Beyoncé and Taylor Swift's mutual admiration dominate, Carey's story underscores a vital truth: true legends lift each other up. Reflecting on her own career trajectory, Carey has always defied the boxes others tried to confine her to. After a string of 18 consecutive #1 singles, a record unmatched by any other solo artist, she navigated personal upheavals, including a high-profile divorce and a breakdown that led to her iconic 2001 film Glitter. But she rebounded stronger, with albums like The Emancipation of Mimi reclaiming her throne and proving that resilience is her greatest hit. Houston, too, was a phoenix, rising from gospel roots to global stardom, her covers of I Will Always Love You and I Have Nothing becoming anthems of empowerment.